I'm telling you, this goes much deeper than you could ever possibly imagine. Now, here we have two cards, one that says Murphy's Law and the other that says Moonbase. And as you can see on both of them, on the left, it says everything that can go wrong will. And then on the right, it says, and it shows you a moon base that says moon base is not affected by any disaster cards except earthquake and meteor, which is very interesting, huh? Controlling of the weather. Now, there's been some theories out there to say that moon bases, that there is a moon base and that so-called aliens are on the moon, or the fallen angels, that they place their base on the moon. I can believe it, especially considering that many religions worship the moon. But it's just interesting because what is it reveal and tell you of the false space-based program of NASA and telling you that everything will go wrong? Why, or that can go wrong, will go wrong, because who's the ones making it go wrong to begin with? Is there subliminal control going on here? Remember, who's the god of this world, at least for now? It's time to wake up and see the truth for what it really is. Like I said, they've been telling us everything that we want to know, that they want us to know. And what do they want us to know? Mind control. They've been poisoning our water and our food and our drinks all along. And the phone companies are used to control us and monitor us everywhere we go so that they can have full control over us, just like an Orwellian dictatorial 1984 type style of living in society. New World Order, Jewish Bolshevism, socialism, communism, and all the isms all over again. Nothing new is under the sun, is it? But it doesn't stop there. It goes much deeper than you think, because here you see a card that happens to show deprogrammers, and wow, when you look at it, how many years later, who does it show and portray? Lady Gaga. You mean to tell me that they knew about Lady Gaga how many years before there even was a Lady Gaga? Wow, very interesting there. Is that a coincidence? Is that a surprise? Not looking like it. But if you thought the Illuminati just controlled the entertainers out there, think again, because they also control the TV preachers as well, because the preachers know that tithing has nothing to do with giving your money to a pastor and everything to do with food. But will they tell you that? Probably not, because of what? Mind control. They just want your money. And by the way, we know money is fake as well. It's just as worth as much as Monopoly dollars. Oh, but we've been fooled all the way, haven't we? But now it's time to wake up and see the real scam behind it, and see just who they work for, and see just what time it is. How deep does the rabbit hole go? That is the question. And just who's responsible behind all this? Because yes, it's the same people who's behind everything else. They even tell you that. Rabbis will even tell you that as well. But will you heed the warning and listen? That's up to you. But even the card says, an ancient and subtle brotherhood, the elders know well the art of conspiracy. That they do, because they'll even tell you that Judaism is behind Freemasonry and the Illuminati. They'll even tell you that. But it goes on to say they can reorganize your entire power structure just as they've done. This must take place on your turn. It requires your action and an action from your Illuminati. Don't you see what this really is showing you? Don't you know who's responsible for all this stuff? And for those of you who are defending the Jewish Zionists, it's time for you to wake up, because it even tells you elders of Zion. Just like what? Protocols of the Elders of Zion. Wow. Oh, but mainstream media likes to make you think that, oh, it's just a fake. Oh, it's just a fake. Oh, it didn't actually happen. You all seriously need to wake up, because even scripture tells you who these Jewish Zionists are. You can read about it in Revelation chapter 2 verses 9 and Revelation chapter 3 verses 9, because even according to scripture, they are the synagogues of Satan. That's not according to me. That's not according to my beliefs. That is according to scripture itself. So you all need to wake up and see what's going on, and stop making excuses for these people who are only trying to control you and the entire world and go to war in order to justify it any way they can. Don't take my word for it, though. Please do the research on your own, but you better hurry up and do the research on your own, because I'm telling you, censorship is real. That is the goal for them. See, how did they know about censorship before there was even so-called internet, Google, YouTube, and Facebook, and everything else? How did they know about all that? Wow, very interesting indeed. And why would they dedicate a card to censorship? Very, very interesting and suspicious indeed. If you're not seeing this, well, then I just don't know what to tell you. But hopefully your head is out of the sand by now. And if not, well, then I just don't know what to tell you because they're telling you everything right in front of you. But if you thought that was bad, well, think again because they even show a picture of the Pope and the Vatican City. And we know that the Vatican City and the Jesuits, they too play a role in all this. And they have a lot to do with the world today and why it's so bad. And with what? Emerging as a new world order and a one world religion. That is the goal of them. And that's why they're showing you this card. Because why? What does it have to do? Merging as a new world order. And they even show you just what they want you to see. And they show you the deadly wound that was healed, the Vatican. It's time to wake up and see biblical prophecies being fulfilled in front of your face. But are you paying attention? And of course, they show our favorite Israel, or as I like to call it, Israel, because what are they showing you here? They're showing you what? Israel. And what does it say? Israel has sympathizers everywhere. Israel can interfere in any attack regardless of alignment, even if it was privileged. That negates the privilege. What is that talking about? Oh yeah, look at all these nations that are, graciously giving money to Israel. Israel's looking for reparations for the so-called Holocaust, or as I call it, the Holocaust. And you can do your research on that. Oh, but they're not going to tell you that, just like ISIS and everything. ISIS is attacking all of the Middle East, aren't they? At least that's what they want us to believe because we know who funds it. But wow, ISIS and these so-called terrorists, they are attacking everywhere in the Middle East, including Syria, Afghanistan, Iraq, Iran. Oh wow, all these different places everywhere except Israel. I wonder why that is. I wonder why that's the case. I wonder who's funding it because they even tell you who's funding it, the Mossad. It's time to wake up and see truth for what it really is. Remember, what's the goal all along? Mind control and weather control as well, because this card even tells you that real weather satellites don't just report the weather, they change it. Oh, so you mean to tell me that this card is even admitting that they control and change, modify, and manipulate the weather? You bet you. But are you listening and paying attention to this? Because I'm telling you, it goes much deeper than you think. Remember, what is the goal out of all of this? What are they trying to do? The New World Order, mind control. And how are they trying to do that? Political correctness. They even show you political correctness. Wow, how did they know to use that term, political correctness, before it was even deemed a term to begin with? How did they know that? Were they controlling it to begin with? You bet you they were. Because why? They're letting you know that it's what? The New World Order. But is that all they're preparing for? Oh no, think again, because you can't have a new world order without an energy crisis. You must have an energy crisis in order to go along with it. And so what are they preparing for? Well, through the lies of climate change and Al Gore, what are they getting ready for? They're getting ready for carbon taxes and any more taxes that you really don't need to be taxed for. But what else are they getting ready for? Oil is at its lowest prices in years. I wonder why that is. Because why? They're getting ready for an energy crisis, weather crisis, all these crises that they're the ones staging and planning ahead of time. And we know that. Why? Because it's going to fulfill the new world order. Order out of chaos, problem, reaction, solution. This is just one of the many ways that they're planning for a new world order, and they've been telling us this all along. Remember, what is the goal out of all this? Mind control. And how do they do that? By poisoning the food. And they even tell you that they've poisoned fast food chains. Rabbi Finkelstein has already told you that after they sacrifice children and their babies and abort them, then what do? They place their human flesh into McDonald's. And I'm not making that up. Please do the research on your own for that. Why? Because of mind control. They even tell you what they do. Because it even says nobody has any idea what's in those secret recipes. And when they find out, they forget again. I wonder why. I'm telling you, they're controlling everything. It's time to wake up. Like I said, you all better stop listening to those agents who are working for the Illuminati because I'm telling you, they're just paid criminals to lie to your face. And they're being paid by the elders of Zion to do it. And what does this card say? Ketchup is a vegetable. Because if Al Gore stood in front of your face and told you that, you'd probably believe him. Why? Because of mind control. If Dr. Oz came into your face and told you that, you'd believe him too because of mind control. You all need to wake up and start to see the agenda behind all this. But what does it say? Infiltrating government positions, your agents have deliberately announced stupid policies undermining public trust. That's been going on for a long time. And like I said, they're how do they do that? Oh, through NASA. Oh, this planet's real, that planet's real. You all need to honestly wake up and see the agenda for what it is, because they're even telling you what their agenda is and laughing at you if you continue to believe their lies. But now that you're awoke and now that you're doing the research on your own, you know better than that. Like I said, the mind control and the illusion goes deeper than you think, because what is this showing you? This is the picture showing you of what professional sports, and you can watch my video on sports games and how they're rigged and the winner is decided ahead of time. But what? Why do you think all these sports players get paid big money to throw a ball and to catch a ball? Because why? To distractions. They want to distract you from what's really going on. And we know that money is fake anyway, but they have to keep distracting you from what's really going on so that you don't see the real plans of the New World Order, and so that you don't see the plans of Satan himself, because he's even telling you his plans, but you still think it's entertainment, don't you? Don't believe in conspiracy theories? Don't believe in secret societies? Well, you might after this, because they're even telling you of one of them, which is the Rosicrucians. You all need to honestly wake up and see what time it is, because what do these Masonic organizations do? Mind control and sacrifices, blood sacrifices, and the whole 9 yards. And they're the ones behind what? Freemasonry, the Illuminati. They are all related and interconnected, intermingled for what? The New World Order. But that's not all. Just what are they getting ready for? What are they preparing us for? What are they getting us ready for? Oh, yeah, flying saucers and UFOs. That's what they're going to tell us, but we know better. We know it's the fallen angels, and we know it's the demons who are disguising themselves as aliens and using the fraudulent program called NASA to make you think that they're all coming from out of this world, all coming from another planet, when we know better than that. Like I said, don't take my word for it. Please don't take my word for it. Do the research on your own and find out this stuff on your own. But they even tell you about UFOs, and oh my goodness, because what are they really getting ready for? And who are the real UFOs? They are the fallen angels, the demigods. That's who they are. They can't tell you that though, because they want you to think that they're from out of this world and everything. But no, my friends, it's time to think ahead. It's time to really see the agenda and see what they're about to do, because I'm telling you, when this disclosure takes place and when the Vatican and all these other organizations and your lovely president comes onto the screen and announce, oh my gosh, alien contact, alien contact. Oh, they're going to feed you the same thing, but we know it's not going to be aliens at all. We know the fallen angels are finally going to reveal to us who they really are, because they've been here for almost 6,000 years now. They never left to begin with, but they don't want you to know that, do they? What are they getting ready for? Who are they getting ready for? Just what are they preparing for? Are they preparing for a potential CME and EMP? Are they preparing to blame everything on some bug or internet worm or super bug or virus that knocks out everything? Or has this been planned a long time ago and we just never knew? Because this was the time before computers even got popular. So how did they know the internet would get real popular? And then can they blame it on a potential bug for losing all the data? Because they even tell us here, so to speak. Because are they foreshadowing what's to come, or are they planning everything ahead of time? Like I said, they have alternate goals and they have a plan B. There's always a plan B. And what's the plan? The New World Order. But if that doesn't work out, or if they find that people are waking up, well then what are they really getting ready for? I'll tell you what they're getting ready for and show you that they've already told us what they're getting ready for. But are you paying attention is the question. Because remember, what are they planning for? What are they getting ready for? Anarchy. And they're staging and planning all this anarchy through these staged and paid for ahead of time so-called riots and drills and stuff because they want you to participate in it, but they're the ones instigating it to begin with. They're the ones funding these so-called anarchist groups such as the KKK. There's even a card dedicated to the KKK that they also have on here. And we see just the agenda and the scheme that they're doing because they're the ones behind all of it. Like I said, what is the end game? What is the end goal? Control on both sides, both peaceful groups and violent groups, as according to them. And we know the KKK is funded by the Zionists as well as the NAACP. Nothing is new. They combine and fund both sides to make you think that one is better than the other, but really it's the same thing. Really, it's coming from the same organizations. It's coming from the same elders of Zion. But I hope you're starting to see this with both eyes open. Like I said, what is their plan? What do they want to do? The Illuminati, New World Order. You're just about to see what's about to happen, what they just so happen to foreshadow, because I'm telling you, you're about to start to see things that you've never seen before. You're going to start seeing things that have not been seen since the days of Noah. You're going to start seeing creatures that have not been seen since the days of Noah. But if you're in a spiritual mindset and know just where it's coming from and know that it's been predicted, planned, and staged ahead of time, then you'll know just who's behind it. We are entering interesting times indeed, and as you can see, this is the New World Order and a question mark on that person's shirt. But also, what do you see around? Chaos and destruction, but also what appears to be very disgusting creatures. I wonder where these creatures come from. Do they come from the demons and the fallen angels? Do they come from the Nephilim and mixing their seed together into animals in order to make these so-called prehistoric creatures and animals that you are about to start seeing that has not been seen since the days of Noah before the flood? But they had to fool you into thinking that it was a comet that wiped out the dinosaurs when we know that wasn't the case at all. And you can do the research for more on that, but it's interesting because they are showing us what's to come, but are we paying attention? You've been hearing a ton about alien abductions, haven't you? But we know that they're not really aliens. They're the fallen angels, and they work underground to conduct experimentations on people through the CIA, FBI, and other government organizations through cloning and other ways and things with lizards and parasites as well. Why? Because they're getting ready for the New World Order. And when they reveal themselves to you, will you think that they're aliens and out of this world, or will you see just who they are? But you most certainly cannot have a new world order without cyborg soldiers. I just did a report the other day that even talked about how our government is what? They're working on what? Technology for cyborgs. They even have the technology ready to go, folks. You all need to see what's just about to take place and what's about to happen. Because I'm telling you, when this stuff starts happening, it's going to take you for a loop unless you are awoke now and you're seeing just what's to come. Because I'm telling you, it's not a game. Like I said, what are they getting ready for? The New World Order through the fallen angels. And what do they have to do? They have to come as aliens and fool and deceive everybody. And if you have not watched my Project Bluebeam video, I highly recommend you do, because how will these fallen angels come? They will try to come and fake a rapture and fake what? The false Messiah. But in order to do that, they have to make you think that, oh, they're the overlords, and oh, they're this and they're that. When what? This fulfills the plan of evolution. It's time to wake up and see the agenda, because it's a real dangerous agenda if you're not awoke. But it gets much worse than that, doesn't it? Because they even tell us about albino alligators. Now, what does this card represent? It represents what? DNA modification, DNA tampering, and what? The animal tampering, which what? Hybridization, the hybrids and the chimerism, it's all real. And when you start to see this stuff, and you can even watch videos of how they have snakes flying and different dragons and stuff, when you start to see this stuff, it will not be pretty. And what are they getting it ready ready for the new world order. You can even watch an episode from Gravity Falls where they even show you the same thing. Those nasty, disgusting creatures, because what? It is a byproduct of the fallen angels. It's time to wake up to this now and see where it's coming from so that you will not be freaked out. World, at least for now, it's time to wake up and see the truth for what it really is. Like I said, they've been telling us everything that we want to know, that they want us to know. And what do they want us to know? Mind control. They've been poisoning our water and our food and our drinks all along. And the phone companies are used to control us and monitor us everywhere we go so that they can have full control over us, just like an Orwellian dictatorial 1984 type style of living in society. Is that a surprise? Not looking like it. But if you thought the Illuminati just controlled the entertainers out there, think again, because they also control the TV preachers as well, because the preachers know that tithing has nothing to do with giving your money to a pastor and everything to do with food. But will they tell you that? Probably not, because of what? Mind control. They just want your money. And by the way, we know money is fake as well. It's just as worth as much as Monopoly dollars. Oh, but we've been fooled all the way, haven't we? But now, I'm telling you, this goes much deeper than you could ever possibly imagine. Now, here we have two cards, one that says Murphy's Law and the other that says Moonbase. And as you can see on both of them, on the left it says everything that can go wrong will, and then on the right it says, and it shows you a Moonbase that says Moonbase is not affected by any disaster cards except earthquake and meteor, which is very interesting, huh? Controlling of the weather. Now, there's been some theories out there to say that Moonbase, world order, Jewish Bolshevism, socialism, communism, and all the isms all over again. Nothing new is under the sun, is it? But it doesn't stop there. It goes much deeper than you think, because here you see a card that happens to show deprogrammers, and wow, when you look at it, how many years later, who does it show and portray? Lady Gaga. You mean to tell me that they knew about Lady Gaga how many years before there even was a Lady Gaga? Wow, very interesting there. Is that a coincidence that there is a moon base and that so-called aliens are on the moon, or the fallen angels that they place their base on the moon? I can believe it, especially considering that many religions worship the moon. But it's just interesting because what is it reveal and tell you of the false space-based program of NASA, and telling you that everything will go wrong? Why? Or that can go wrong, will go wrong, because who's the ones making it go wrong to begin with? Is there subliminal control going on here? Remember, who's the god of this world?